Here at Grinding Gear Games, purple is our favourite colour. So of course, the Grape Soda Power Washer is going to get a feature. This build by Sir Toasty is an Acolyte of Chayula monk using the Incinerate skill, turned into purple chaos damage with the Black Flame Covenant Keystone. But there's a lot more going on here than purple flames. I'm Eben, and welcome to Build of the Week. Incinerate is quite simply a flamethrower. To use it, you first have to build up fuel, which is gathered by spending mana. Sir Toasty spends mana on Living Bomb, a skill that makes an enemy explode if it takes enough damage or dies. Importantly, Living Bomb also has the advantage of dropping a Fire Remnant. This can be picked up to empower Incinerate with Burning Ground. To spend even more mana and create even more remnants, Sir Toasty is actually using 2 copies of Living Bomb, one of them automated with Cast on Elemental Ailment. Setting things on fire is an ailment, so by using Incinerate, we're constantly casting Living Bomb and constantly creating remnants. And, as mentioned earlier, the Black Flame Covenant Keystone takes our fire skills and turns them into purple chaos damage, which is important for our scaling. The little purple explosions you're seeing are coming from the Fiery Death support gem. While it might not be necessary for the build, it sure feels good to play. So, we've got our Grape Soda Power Washer. What next? So Toasty created this build to experiment with the volatility mechanic. There's a lot of words here if you want to pause and pass, but basically volatility is an effect that increases your chaos damage at the cost of an occasional explosion that damages your character. The Acolyte of Chayula has new mechanics that make it the perfect ascendancy for using volatility. The Inner Turmoil Notable lets us stack volatility. This word is ruining me. Volatility. The Inner Turmoil Notable lets us stack volatility by inflicting ailments. In this case, Incinerate is perfect for inflicting the Ignite ailment to stack volatility. The Inner Turmoil Notable also completely mitigates the damage of the volatility explosion, letting us create massive stacks of it. But if you read the volatility description, you'll notice that you only get the chaos damage boost after the explosion, meaning we need some way to explode early and often. This is where Catharsis comes in. This support gem causes the active skill to detonate a random amount of volatility. In this case, Sir Toasty is using Catharsis with Ember Fusillade to trigger this when necessary. Ember Fusillade is the skill of choice here because of its short cast time, meaning we can detonate volatility many times quite quickly. So we're fueling up, building stacks of volatility, and melting our enemies into purple goo. Let's talk damage scaling. Across the support gems and passive tree, Sir Toasty suggests investing into Ailment Magnitude, Ignite Magnitude, Chaos Damage, and Crit. It's worth noting that the Ignites dealt by Incinerate scale with Crit, which is why it can be so effective. Sir Toasty's other trick is Curses and Debuffs. This build uses Despair, a curse that lowers enemies' chaos resistance. This skill is assigned to a second weapon set optimized for curses. You'll notice that Sir Toasty's tree uses weapon set passives to switch to a cursed focus setup whenever we cast our curse. And in 030, swapping weapons has no delay or time penalty, so this is an easy addition to the build. To make the most of the weapon swap, Sir Toasty is using 2 uniques that stack potent debuffs on our enemies. The Wicked Quill can inflict Wither, which increases the chaos damage enemies take. Effigy of Cruelty can apply critical weakness to enemies. These effects require us to hit enemies with spells, so Sir Toasty is using Ball Lightning, a skill that deals lots of hits across a large area. Ball Lightning and the Despair Curse are assigned to the second weapon set, so it's easy to fire one or both of these off against tougher enemies whenever we need to. With all this together, you can see for yourself how quickly the purple soda can melt bosses. This is just my headcanon, but I like to think that the fire smells like sparkling grape juice. One downside to this build is that Incinerate requires constant casting, which slows your character down. This can be somewhat mitigated with Ferul's Rune of Grace on your boots, which lets you move faster while using skills. And because we're an Acolyte of Chayula, we can use the Chayula's Gift Notable, which makes chaos damage almost a non-issue. We can drink the grape soda, for it burns so good. Thanks to Sir Toasty for creating this build. It's visually fun and thematic, a great use of chaos mechanics, and very satisfying to play. Check out their build guide in the description for a full rundown of the details. See you next time!